Try this one simple thing with your sellers to win more appointments and get more business. Dave Zajdzinski, Dave Z with Leverage Agent. Hey, I want to talk to you about buying before you sell and how this strategy helps me get far more business than any other listing, let's call it proposition, USP, right? Like my unique selling proposition gets me more business, and it doesn't always work this way, but it starts the conversation, puts you in a different light than your competitors. I have a listing that just went live today. When I reached out to them, they're like, no, we're signing listing paperwork. If I showed you my CRM, they're like, no, we're signing listing paperwork tomorrow. We're going with them. We don't need you. And as I stayed in conversation with them, found out they wanted to go make an offer on a home. So to make an offer, they had to get on the market to be contingent. And I was able to talk to them about my buy before you sell program. And that allowed a conversation to continue. That allowed me to come out to the house. And they're like, oh, we're not signing with that person. We're definitely going with you. Well, they were not approved to do a buy before you sell program, but they trusted me and I really solved their problem. So I'm going to tell you my 4 favorite ways to do buy before you sell and kind of the pros and cons of each of them. So I'm going to share my screen, share some of this. So this first screen I'm showing you, if you ever downloaded my listing presentation, these are the options. I always want to tell people, listen, you have options when you work with me. We've sold 1,500 houses. These are kind of the only ways I found out how we can do it. Maybe you know a different way. These are the only ways I know how to do it. So when I get to option 4, talk about, do you want to do a joint venture flip and flip, or do you want to do a buy before you sell? And then I'll have materials in here. I have videos on it. That's in my listing presentation. You know, I do a whole trade-in. I can skip right to this. Hey, let's talk about buying before you sell. I feature HomeLight. They're one of the best. So we'll start with that. And then I have a HomeLight video that I can play for people right in my Zoom meeting. So I put it right into here. And I either do Zoom meetings with people or I bring a second monitor to appointments. And I just hit play and then I don't have to explain all this. So I love using video to help people understand what's going on. So HomeLight, if you've not heard of them, they're a great company to help you do a buy before you sell program. They have plenty of material, but basically what they'll do, to sum it up in a nutshell, is they will unlock typically around 70% of the equity. So let's just use $1 million to make the math easy. They're like, cool, your home's worth $1 million. We'll give you $700,000 to use to purchase your next home. Well, if they have a $300,000 mortgage, they've got $400,000 to work with. And if that's all they need to put down on the next property, HomeLight will actually wire that money to title and say, here's $400,000 for this purchase. And it's a non-contingent offer. And there's guarantees in there, and there's protections in there. I'm not going to go through the whole program, but what we have found, I've been working with HomeLight for about a decade, is if you can be non-contingent, make a strong offer, and if you can be cash, so some of my programs will turn you to a cash buyer, you get like a 5-6% discount. We're not contingent, we're cash. So if you can avoid a contingency, I think it takes years off of people's lives. Like being contingent is one of the most stressful things. I've seen it. I did one earlier right at the end of the year, and it was a 4-way contingency. We tried all the options. We just couldn't do it. But my client was buying, selling, and this was a 7-figure home. So these were all kind of move-up buyers. Every home involved was a 7-figure home. So that's typical, right? And we tried to get this done. We couldn't, but it was one home in California was delayed. That delayed this home and our home and that home. And all parties had to be notified across 3 different states. It's not happening today. And it's stressful. So let's try to remove that. HomeLight is a great option. I'm not going to get into it, but definitely use them. The other one that I work with is Homeward. They have some great options. So if you're not familiar with Homeward, look at their buy before you sell program. All of them are going to have pros and cons. And if you want to reach out to me, I can tell you my personal experiences with all the companies. The other one that I'm using now is CrossCountry. Has a very good, now I don't know if this works in all states, right? I'm in Arizona, but check out CrossCountry and their program if they have to sell and how much equity they'll unlock. Another company I just started working with, Wallach and Volk, talked to the bank's president there. They have a very good program as well. And then they have a cash to win program. But be more than just the traditional realtor that says, let's put your home up and do this, and let them decide. I talked to another client today. They're coming from out of state, and it's been about a year since we've started working together. They're finally ready to list their home, and they're like, we're going to go temporary housing. I revisited this like, no, thank you. We're just going to go into temporary housing, but at least I'm offering that solution. The last thing I want is that seller to say, why didn't you tell me I could have done one of these programs and done one clean move? But If you can buy first, be non-contingent, write an aggressive offer, and then what I'll do is do a little light fix up and repair on that house, do an inspection of the departing home, stage it, paint it, get it ready. You're going to, one, save years on people's lives. Like, honestly, you'll keep them from stressing out. You should sell for more. My goal is to get a 5% bump when they buy and a 5% bump when we sell, because it's vacant, we have open houses, it's staged, it's prepped, it's ready, it comes with a warranty. It is the ideal way for real estate to be done. Like, move in whenever you want and show it whenever you want. So position your clients in such a way where they're in control. As soon as you have a timeline and this has to happen first, you lose control and you're going to give up equity. It's very rare not to. Put them in control, help them buy first, sell second. So these are the 4 companies that I recommend. And if you want some data on any of them or some more information, reach out to me. I'm happy to share my pros and cons with them. And I can put together a list of, like, this is what I like about this one, this is what I don't like about this one. And that's what I send to my clients. I say, hey, these are the ones I work with. These are the pros and cons. Which one do you want to do? So I hope this helps. I hope you can bring some peace to your clients and say, listen, we can do this in a much more relaxed way. We have time. We're not pressured and we're in control. So hope that helps. Good luck. Let me know if you need anything, and watch out for my next video in a couple of weeks here. I hope you're finding these valuable, and I'd love to hear from you. If I'm providing you value, drop me a note. All right, Dave Z, Leverage Agent. See ya.